golden age of America begins right now. From this day forward, our country will flourish and be respected again all over the world.
I find it no coincidence at all the words he uses here. The golden age begins right now. You see, he's at the wall in quote-unquote Israel, right? Even though we know that's not the real Israel. But what's their flag? It's the star, right? The Star of David, quote-unquote, even though there's no such thing as the Star of David in the Bible. The Star of David is a six-pointed star formed by two overlapping triangles that is the most widely recognized symbol of Judaism and Jewish identity. It's been used since the 14th century and became the symbol of the Zionist movement in 1897. It is now the state's central image on the flag of the state of quote-unquote Israel. While it's called the Shield of David, it has no connection to the King David himself, but rather symbolizes various aspects of faith. But this has nothing to do with God. This has to do with the Star of Remphan. The Bible mentions the Star of Remphan in the book of Acts, chapter 7, verse 43, as a pagan idol that the Israelites were condemned for worshiping, linking its worship to other false gods like Moloch. This idolatry, which involves a star symbol, is presented as a reason for their eventual exile beyond Babylon. Remphan is identified by scholars as a Babylonian god associated with Saturn. In biblical texts, it's also associated with names such as Chun and Kun, or Kiun, however you pronounce it. Now notice the changes with Saturn's hexagon that it ironically has on it. Now notice there's a hexagon on Saturn, just like there's a six-pointed side star for the Star of quote-unquote David, even though it's not biblical at all. That's Saturn worship. Saturn's hexagon is a persistent jet black six-sided cloud pattern around the planet's North Pole. Discovered by NASA's Voyager, quote-unquote, in space in the early 1980s, this atmospheric phenomenon is about 14,500 kilometers, 9,000 miles on each side, and rotates with the planet, with the storm possibly extending hundreds of kilometers high. Now here's why Israel's blue hexagon was blue. Yes, Saturn's hexagon was blue in the past, particularly during the long polar winter. As sunlight increased during the spring and summer months, it triggered chemical reactions that produced haze, changing the hexagon's color to a more golden yellowish hue. Now Trump speaks on the golden age and us going into the golden age for a specific reason. Yes, Saturn's hexagon turned gold between 2012 and 2016 due to the seasonal changes and increased sunlight, which produced hazy aerosols in the atmosphere. Before this, during the planet's polar winter, the hexagon appeared more blue because it was cleared to these light-producing particles, quote-unquote. So now it's gold. And ironically, that shift happened around 2012. Y'all remember the talks of 2012 being the end of the world. It probably was the end of something and the newborn of the golden age. This is how that hexagon looked. You see how one time it's blue, the other time it's turning more gold right here on the right side. And you can see that at one point, supposedly, like they said, it was black. Like the black cube, right? Like this one in New York, that black cube. What about this black cube that ironically is gold too, like the golden age? Or how about the fact that a cube and a hexagon are related in several ways? A slice of a cube can form a hexagon, and a projection of a cube can be a hexagon. That's crazy, is it not? Specifically, a regular hexagon is formed when planes cut through the center of a cube, intersecting the midpoints of 6 edges. The relationship is also explored in material science, where cube-on-hexagon orientation describes how crystal structures align. And it starts to make sense with what's going on here in America, aka the real Israel, and New York, aka where Babylon is. Babylonian god associated with the planet Saturn is Ninurta, a god of war, hunting, and healing, who is also sometimes linked to the planets Kajamanu. In some contexts, Saturn was also included with other deity names, including the sun god Shamash during a specific historical period. But we're talking about Ninurta, that's the main god that was associated with Saturn. How about how the Times Magazine, when Mamdani got elected, and now Trump and him are quote-unquote buddies, and it shows him with a scimitar and a mace, or if you want to say otherwise, a sickle and a mallet, but that still goes back to the same things. Ninurta is often depicted with a sickle, which in his case is a sickle sword, a scimitar, a weapon he carries along with other armaments like a bow, arrows, or a mace named Sharur. As a Mesopotamian god, the sickle is a symbol of his connection to farming as well as his role as a warrior. The sickle sword represents his association with both the agriculture and warfare. Ninurta is a god of both farming, war, and the sickle is a fitting weapon to embody these dual roles. Along with the sickle sword, he is often also frequently shown with a bow, arrows, or the speaking mace Sharur. And how ironic that the new mayor of New York is Muslim, and he also worships this black Saturn box with gold on it. Wake up, y'all. We going into the golden age because the fallen angels are here. The Nephilim and fallen angels are here, and Christian persecution is starting over here soon. Seek Jesus, seek God Almighty, because it's about to go crazy soon. Not in a fear-mongering way. We know where we're going, but seek Jesus and endure until the end.